for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pearsonell.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pearsonell, but Pearsonell has confidence in Pearsonell.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello. Welcome into the Don't Punt Hour. Good morning, Pearsonell. He's in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. No Harrison tonight. He's out sick, so you're stuck with me for an hour. But, you know,
no worries.
we'll get through it. So, just had a show with Ahman Green. Talked a lot of NFL. So, you kind of want to do a lot of the same? Get a lot of NFL talk to go.
I'm
Good
AFC.
AFC.
I'm open with whatever. It doesn't really matter to me.
Oh, yeah. Good AFC matchup between Ravens and Chiefs. The NFC matchup, Lions, 49ers, both great games. You kind of want to give your thoughts on both?
Yeah, that's fine. What to your opinion, which one do you think was the better game?
I honestly feel like the NFC game was a little bit more exciting just because, the 49ers coming back from behind was pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens game wasn't the outcome I was hoping for. But they were both good games.
Most definitely. We can start with the AFC and then just kind of just dive into that. Mahomes is starting to get like Brady. You don't want to bet against him, and it's starting to get annoying.
Honestly,
it's starting to get annoying. I was pissed. I'm a Raiders fan, so I don't like the Chiefs. But I mean, it was a good showing. They came. They were the better team that day. I still think the Ravens are better. I don't think the Ravens just played a complete game, and turnovers and I guess not running the ball kind of bit them, which is sad. I mean, you got the number one rushing offense, number one rush attempts. You got a good back behind you, and that's kind of been your bread and butter. And you only had, I think, 6-7 attempts? It's crazy. It was just sad. I was just expecting a lot more. The Ravens just didn't perform well, and it wasn't that the Chiefs weren't doing so much to like really stop them. I mean, they contained Lamar, so I'll give them that. But the wide receivers were costly. I just felt like I thought that room would show up a little bit more. But it is what it is. It happens. Congrats and shout out to them for getting the win. It wasn't the game I thought we would have got.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar probably going to be MVP this year. Mm-hmm. And just, everyone expecting a great performance. Ravens offense only put up 10 points. Now, a lot of that, you need to give credit to the Chiefs defense because they are really underrated. This is probably the best. I would say this is the best defense Mahomes has ever had in his career so far with the Chiefs. I don't feel like that's too far of a stretch.
No. Agreed.
Yeah,
Statistically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has just been really dominant. The Chiefs, because they only had the 3 seed, have had to play on the road the last two rounds NFL playoffs, and they've just showed up on the road both times. And I mean, you just gotta give your props to them. You know, as much as I maybe don't love the Chiefs and them showing Taylor Swift every time, although I don't hate it, but it gets a little annoying.
I'm not a fan of it. It's they've been doing it half the season. Like, I'm over it. Like, I get it. She's at the game. I understand who she is. Still not going to listen to her music. Okay, can we get back to the game? Thank you. Like, if I wanted to see her, I would go to her concert. I don't. So thanks.
Yeah, I mean, but did you see that it said that they've made like over $350 million in revenue just because Taylor Swift has been at the games and they've been showing. That's why they're showing her. They're making so much money off of it. They're probably thinking all the gods they can that Taylor Swift is coming to the games.
And it's in Vegas. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah, so I mean, I think she has a concert I think she has a concert in Japan like the night before the Super Bowl. So there's like some people don't know if she's actually going to be able to make it to the game. I think she's going to be.
I'm pretty sure she'll be there. If she's not by the start of the game, I guarantee you by probably halftime she will be.
Yeah,
or they might reschedule the show or push the show up early. Or they'll push the show up early 2 days or push it later back 2 days. Either or.
Yeah. Or maybe they'll just move the entire Super Bowl just for Taylor Swift, not out of the realm of possibility.
If they do that, I might officially be done with the NFL entirely.
Well, you should be safe. I don't think they're going to move the Super Bowl time, but yeah, 2 weeks. We'll see. How about NFC side? Lions had a big lead first half, fell apart second half. Some people questioning Dan Campbell's coaching decisions, going for it on fourth down instead of kicking.
Which loss hurts more, the Super Bowl loss with the Patriots and the Falcons, or this loss? I don't know. They're about even for as excitement wise. That has to hurt, and I hurt for the Detroit fan base. I'm not mad at the coach's decision because since they've been playing Dallas, he has been that way.
I mean,
so he hasn't changed. I was more so concerned of Jared Goff maybe dropping the ball, but he actually played really good. His supporting cast kind of literally dropped the ball. His supporting cast didn't, from the receiver standpoint, didn't help him as much. I know Reynolds had a few, key drops that would have sustained drives and kept drives going and would have been, more gas to the fire. But it's just sad because, that fan base was really behind that team. That was as about as good of a game as you can play against the 49ers. But I mean, for them to come back from that deficit to just keep, chucking away at it. I know, Detroit is devastated. But I mean, the 49ers, I mean, they didn't give up. And I'm not saying that Purdy didn't play his best game. But I mean, that's 2 games in a row to where, he's having to show that, when it comes down to it, he's going to make things happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's, to stop that other than not having a good game. And, this game was better than last week's game. The scenario was way different. It was a taller mountain to come back and climb. And, they worked at it. So I'm anxious to see, this high ranking, this high powered offense going against this, show stopping defense. I have my own picks and my own thinks about certain things and, the keys to what is, but the 49ers look like they have so much left in the tank. It's not close. So, but I mean, it was a well executed game. They didn't execute early in the first half, but second game, the second half, you can't draw it up any better than that.
Yeah, I mean, it just hurts so much just because, how bad, I mean, bad's the right word, the Lions have been over the past 30, 40 years. I mean, literally 2 of my lifetimes. I'm only 19. Like, you put double my age, they've never been to a Super Bowl never gone to a championship in the Super Bowl era. Just, yeah, that fan base. I'm a Dolphins fan, so the Lions are the only team that have it worse than me before this year. And so I was kind of rooting for the Lions, but the 49ers are just so good. So much talent on that team.
It's like I said, I'm not sure what's going to stop them. Like
Probably themselves.
That's it. That you pray and hope that you don't get the type of game that you've seen this past weekend. They got a 3-week break and everything like that, but things would be so schemed up and so timed up for stuff and whatnot. I think it's going to be a fun game for their defensive coordinator and Kyle Shanahan to kind of go at it. There's a lot of moving pieces on both sides, and it's going to be a heavyweight fight. And I'm excited to see it, actually.
Yeah, I mean, rematch from a few years ago, 49ers, Chiefs. I kind of have a sense of where you're going with who you think is going to win Super Bowl. I feel like you're leaning 49ers. Do you feel like it's going to be a really close game, though, like a really good game like last time we saw these two teams in the Super Bowl against each other?
I don't think it's going to be a shootout like how it was last time. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. You got two top defenses. Pacheco can run the ball. And this past weekend, the Lions did do some damage with running the ball and everything like that. But Pacheco's not neither one of those backs. He's not, a game breaker to break open a game, to bust it, wide open for the Chiefs. That's just not the type of guy he is. But McCaffrey is. So it could get ugly fast for the Chiefs. Honestly, maybe there's 3 positions that I'm thinking that the Chiefs probably have the 49ers at. That's kicker, quarterback, and probably tight end. Everywhere else, 49ers. Linebacker core, 49ers. Offensive line, 49ers. Defensive line, 49ers. Safeties, 49ers. Cornerbacks, that might be even.
Yeah.
So it's just running back 49ers. Like it's so I don't think it will be a shootout. They don't have the high powered on both sides. I think the Chiefs, they had Tariq Hill, and I think their average receivers 40 time was like 4.3 when they were back in the Super Bowl. They don't have that type of speed to save them and get them out of a situation like that. And I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan will have some stuff drawn up. So I don't think it'll be too crazy. I think it'll be a strong defensive show from both defenses. And which quarterback doesn't turn the ball over. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned 49ers. They're probably the more talented overall team, but the Chiefs have the advantage in the most important position in football, and that's the quarterback position, which that might be enough to put him over the edge. If Purdy has a game like he did,
game.
Yeah, if Purdy's just, doing a bunch of checkdowns and, just playing super cautiously, it could get the 49ers in trouble because, the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, while the offense might not be as good as in year past, it's still Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, still one of the best. It's probably the best quarterback tight end duo maybe in history. That offense they're going to play good, even against a really good 49ers defense. I definitely don't think it's going to be a shootout, but I definitely think both teams are probably going to get to low 20s. Would be my guess.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. You got to get to Patrick. You got to shut him down. And, with the 49ers defensive line, with who they have and the rotation that they have and everything like that, they have the ability to do that. Kansas City has the most penalized right tackle and the most with jumping off sides or holding. So I definitely think, that they're going to be licking their chops to get an opportunity out that. Like I said, I think it's going to come down to necessarily who has more control and who's going to have the better day that day. You can't count Patrick out, regardless if it is the best team or not, as you've seen what he did this past weekend to Baltimore. But I still think their last two games, have been a mountain itself. You got to go through Buffalo. Buffalo wasn't, a slight defense. You got to go through Baltimore. Baltimore wasn't a slight defense. Hopefully, they're how long before they run out of ammo, or how long before they run out of steam and whatnot. So we'll see. I think it's definitely going to be an exciting game, though.
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of shown your displeasure towards the Chiefs. Did you see what Travis Kelce did before the game with Justin Tucker when he threw his stuff? I kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
I get it, the type of game, the type of stuff. Like, I'm not mad at it, but it's like, come on, bro, it's a kicker. And Tuck is cool. Like, yeah. he's not. He doesn't piss anybody off. He doesn't trash talk. He doesn't do anything. He's a nice person. And it's like, I get the stakes. I get it and everything like that. But I'm just like, come on, the kicker, like Justin, like, I mean, nothing's off limits in playoff, I guess. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you rocking with who you rocking with. I just thought it was funny. I wasn't mad at her or anything like that. I was just like, dang, like, he's a really good person. That would be the last person, somebody I would feel like you would start something with. I thought that was going to set a fire under Baltimore and they were going to come out completely different. And, they kind of just shot their own selves in the foot. But I thought it was funny. It was just somebody had to get it, and I guess it was Tuck. It just had to be you.
It was the kicker.
I'm like, out of all people, like they got one job, they don't bother nobody, they on the field the least amount of time. And I get that you're trying to warm up and everything like that, but man, I'm like, okay, well, at least he had his quarterback's back.
I guess
it was a tag team effort. So I mean, I'll take that, sportsmanship, backing up your teammate or whatever, but it's just like, out of all people, you had to, it had to be him. Like, y'all couldn't talk to him like, can you move over? Like, you had to be that aggressive to a kicker. Like, that wasn't necessary. But I get the stakes. I get it. I understand it. It is what it is.
Yeah. One last question I want to ask before we go to break. Lamar Jackson definitely didn't have his best performance. Were you do you feel like Lamar Jackson was more to blame for that game, or do you kind of blame the Ravens wide receiver core for the poor offensive performance?
I don't blame Lamar. It's a combination of a couple things. Your offensive line has been dominant and seen better stuff throughout the whole year. And y'all, other than Chris Jones, I get it. It's a handful with Chris Jones. Other than Chris Jones, I get that. But let people just tee off and get to him. And I understand they had a plan and whatnot. I'm more so mad of the game plan. Who the Ravens are and their identity, I feel like they went away from that. Not that it's not in Lamar's wheelhouse. They can and they will, but he also needs help. He was throwing the right passes. He was throwing, he was making the right reads and everything like that. And I just feel like, I thought the wide receivers would come a little bit more alive and make a little bit more plays or, be amped up. The touchback hurt. Yeah. They were moving up and down the field. They were getting what they want. I was mad at the taunting foul. Like, I get it, emotions flare and everything like that. But if you don't get that penalty and everything like that, maybe they don't, or they aren't back and got to throw to go get that. Maybe, they hand it off to Gus, they score, and now it's back to a game regardless of the turnovers and everything like that. So I wasn't upset with Lamar's performance. I think he did well. I think, he did what he was supposed to do with giving the calls that were, called and everything like that. I just expected better, of the offensive line. I expected better, of the receivers to make plays and everything like that. And then, the offensive coordinator to call a better game, to make it more balanced, to give, the running backs a little bit more way. And they couldn't stop the run. So I'm not sure like why wasn't that incorporated. I don't know if he panicked just to kind of get back in things and just kind of threw out, to kind of keep on schedule, but they were still moving the ball. They just, again, shot themselves in the foot. So I'm not mad at Lamar. Like he played well enough, to win the game, but he can't do everything himself.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going back to the running back situation. I'm just imagine, if J.K. Dobbins doesn't get hurt for the Ravens, if Keaton Mitchell doesn't get hurt for Ravens, they had so many injuries in the running back room. And yet that running back room is so deep, but I wonder if that was part of the reason, they're on their third, fourth, even fifth string running back this year because of all the injuries. I wonder if that was part of it.
Gus was the running back, but Gus has been there for years. Like Gus is not like, he's not like a third, like, no, like Gus is a good running back. Run him. You have Dalvin Cook, which the week before you displayed, so much things of what you wanted to do and everything like that. Where was that at? Dalvin has been there for, a month. He signed, I think the first week of playoffs. He was a month into the system. I know you have a package, what you want to do for him and everything like that. Establish the run, to get to open up the pass game and everything like that. I just feel like the running, their run game that they normally have and everything like that wasn't there. And I don't think it was because the Chiefs were taking it away. They just went away from calling that. And I'm not sure why.
Yeah, definitely some play calling issues on that. I mean, when you don't put up very many points, a lot of fingers maybe got to get pointed at the offensive coordinator. We got to send it to break. You're listening to the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Fuhrer's Cheese Spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Fuhrer's Cheese Spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Fuhrer's Cheese Spread today at your local grocery store. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Hilriola, the doctor, the Polynesian Bowl. He had a lot of throws. He made a couple nice throws. He threw outs. He threw a deep dig. He threw a slant that went to the house. There were so many different passes that we saw him. And he's got a little quick twitch. Is he fast? No. Quick twitch? Yes. It was good to see him moving around. Listen, he connected with, guess who?
Carter Nelson.
Thank you. We got a chance to see Carter twice. It was good for me to watch that because I think that's a precursor of what's.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pearson out.
Hello and welcome back into the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. We're going to switch things up a little bit. Want to talk some Husker hoops now. They played on Saturday. Men's team and women's team both played on Saturday, but specifically men's team lost to Maryland. It was a beatdown. Another road loss, now 1-5 on the road. Their only road win coming against Kansas State earlier in the season. Do not have a conference road win. What were your thoughts on Saturday's game?
That hurt. It's you got to be better than that. And we were speaking on that last week. Games that you're supposed to win. To get in a rhythm, to get a routine down and everything like that. You need stuff like that. It's getting closer and closer to crunch time. You started hot, you're playing well, you're supposed to get that. You're supposed to get that win. That's supposed to, help you continue to keep climbing to the top. So it was just frustrating because they just didn't play. They just didn't look like how we know that what they're capable of. And it's just, we got to get back. We got to get back to it. And we got to start figuring out or finding a way how to, win on the road. Because it's once tournament time starts, there's no more home games.
Mhm.
So, good. You better have it figured out before then. And, you only got so many more opportunities to establish that.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems so much like a mental thing because at home, even when they had their last game on Peacock, the Peacock announcers were like, if the tournament would be played at Pinnacle Bank Arena, they're saying the Huskers would be national champions. I don't agree with that. What's your take on that?
Elite 8, maybe, Sweet 16. That's a long way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very generous, something like very out there. I was very surprised when I heard that. But yeah, they just look so good at home. They just seem in a rhythm. They seem comfortable. And then when they go on the road, just everything falls apart. I mean, they shot the ball well from deep, but turnovers, weren't rebounding, silly mistakes. It just all seems mental. How much do you feel like it's more mental than anything?
I wouldn't even say mental. I feel like it's more so just understanding what the task is and making sure that you take care and do your part. Don't be the reason to why certain things happens. Turnovers are going to happen.
Mhm.
Foul trouble is going to happen. But to prepare for that and everything like that is making sure that you're on point, that your routine, getting to the game and everything like that is done and situated. It's stuff that can be fixed. It's not. It's stuff that that you can come back from. You can come back from having a bad game of turnovers, just not being as careless or being more situated to understand what's going on in the game, what stuff and everything like that. So it's not more so a mental thing and everything like that. Is just understanding like, all right, I got a job to do and figure out what it is. Figure out okay how to do this better. Figure out okay, well, it's not that cost me last time. This and that. It's not going to be that. It's just making sure that every time that you step out there and putting a little bit more focus on the away games that we got to come up with this, like, because that's Maryland's not a team that they should have lost.
No, I mean, they're maybe on the bubble of the NCAA tournament. I think they're kind of on the outside looking in right now. But,
For
if
sure.
they string together, I mean, that's kind of all of the Big Ten. I mean, this is why Nebraska can't afford. I mean, they have a really tough schedule coming up. They have a ranked Wisconsin team at home. So maybe, it's at home. Maybe they can pull that one out. But then you have Illinois on the road, Northwestern on the road. And that Northwestern game was really close at home. So that's going to be another tough one. I mean, you have a really tough 3-game stretch here before playing Michigan, who hasn't been that good this year. But I mean, if you drop all three of those, you all of a sudden could find yourself towards the bottom of the Big Ten rankings. That's how close all, the 6 through 9 is, or 5 through 9 is in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a rough one, but if you can pull it out 2 out of the 3, or
Even just
hopefully
one.
3, one would help, but I don't think one's enough.
Probably not. No.
One would help, but that's what I'm saying. 2 out of the next of the next like tough games. You gotta get 2 of those. That's gonna stamp kind of your resume a little bit better. If you drop them, then it's like we don't really know what you bring in. It's like they might refer to I'm not taking the cheese. Like if it's home, okay, if y'all playing home, okay, fine, different team. But so I think the next for the out of the next tough tough patch that they got to face that they're facing, they got to win 2. Now what 2? I'm not sure if that's Northwestern and Wisconsin. Cool. If not, if it's Northwestern and the other team, fine and games. Just get you 2. Just get you 2 of them. That will help submit your resume for the tournament. Now, if you don't, again, now the outside looking in, I feel like is definitely a factor.
I mean, yeah, if they don't pull out probably at least 2, they're definitely not going to be locked in before the Big Ten tournament. They're going to need a run in the Big Ten tournament. I mean, it's going to be tough though. I mean, Maryland was probably one of their easiest road games left on the schedule. Again, they have Michigan on the road, their last regular season game. So that's probably their easiest one left. But I mean, Illinois at home, that one just seems almost unwinnable to me. Because Illinois is, they're ranked number 14 for a reason, one of the top team in the country. But I do want to ask this. If, let's say, they only win one of these games, if let's say they beat Northwestern but lose to Wisconsin and Illinois, they're both ranked. Do you feel like the Purdue game is a little bit more fluky, or do you feel like it's just who this team is at home versus away? Because the Purdue win was a big win for the team.
Yeah.
But they really haven't done it against any other.
I would say it would. I would say it would push more so of the flukiness of it that they just caught a good Purdue team at home.
Mm-hmm.
It would if they do lose, two of these. I think now, so like people might be looking at you a little bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
You need a win against Wisconsin or Illinois. One of those two teams for sure. And then, like I said, either one of out of the next three games, I would like 2 wins that would help you a lot more to ease the people and kind of turn the burner off. The burner's on right now. People are kind of looking at taking a hard look at him. You beat, Wisconsin and Northwestern. All right, people are like, okay, no, they're situated. Or you beat Illinois and Northwestern. People are looking at you like, okay, like no, it was just an off game for them. But if you don't, people are not probably taking you as serious as they have been or could have been.
Yeah, I mean, on these road games, a lot of them just like Nebraska hasn't put themselves in a position to win. It's just like, the Rutgers game has really been the only close road game. Minnesota, you were up big in the first half, then you just fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa, you got shot out of the gym. Wisconsin got shot out of the gym. Rutgers game was close. And now Maryland, one of the worst 3-point shooting teams, somehow shoots you out of the gym. It's just crazy to me. It's just like it's not even that, but it's like the turnovers and rebounding. Those are the 2 main things for me. When they beat Ohio State, their last home game, they only had 6 turnovers. Against Northwestern, they had 18. I just feel like that's the main difference. That's 12 more possessions you're giving the other.
You're beating yourselves. It's not necessarily that the other team is coming in there and dominating you. No, you're giving them more opportunities to be successful. And that's what I said. Like they're shooting themselves in the foot. It's not like the things that can't be changed, because they can be changed. And if it's a home game, it's completely different. It's day and night. So whatever the bad juju is, or whatever the thinking is on the road and everything like that, something has to change necessarily with the proper procedures on away games. And I like it's simple stuff. And it's crazy because it's like you fix it at home, but yet it creeps back up
on the road
a night or two, three nights later down the road. And it's like, but it wasn't just like that, 2-3 days ago. So it's small stuff. It's something that can be fixed. It's something that should be fixed, and something that's gonna get fixed. They just have to, figure out exactly like, okay, what it is. Okay, well, we can't do this for sure. Okay, all right. Well, don't try and do too much. Continue to play our game how we do things at home. Just establish, the game that they want to play on the road.
Yeah, it's just real weird because it's not like a lot of these road teams that they've lost to outside of Wisconsin. None of them are like, these dominant teams that have been playing so good. Iowa, Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland. None of those are. The Wisconsin loss, that's not that bad of a loss. They just shot so well from 3-point line. But like all those other ones, it's just like these are just teams that the game should at least be close, and they just haven't been. It's just like, I don't know. The Gary injury did hurt though.
Yeah.
Hopefully they get him back soon. Do you feel like how big of an impact do you feel like Gary's going to have when he comes back? Because he's just such a big part of this team, not only just, on the court, but also off the court, one of the leaders of this team.
You said what's the impact once he comes back?
Yeah, when Gary comes back.
I think it'll be the same thing. Like he's still in the building, off scenes and everything like that, practice, film room, recovery stuff and everything like that. So his voice, is still there. It's just a matter of, okay, how long before like he feels more comfortable and being back to him.
Yeah.
That's more of a question that, I'm not too sure. Every injury is different. How people react and respond to it is differently. He can hit the ground running. He can be a little bit more cautious of stuff. It might change his game, until he finds, his stride. It just depends. But I'm not too concerned on, how everybody else would react to him or involve him and everything like that. He's there. They see him. It's not like he just got hurt and just it's just taken away.
Yeah.
It's just taken away from the team. Like, no, he's still around. It's just okay. So when you do get the green light to okay, turn it up, which version is that going to be? Are you going to kind of slow pace it into it, or are you gassed to the floor and it is what it is? Like there's no off switch. That's the part that you just don't know. So it just depends, how he feels and what is his body feeling like and how is his mental, how is he reacting to stuff. But I mean, within 2 or 3 games, we'll be able to answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, Gary's just two-way player, dominant at both ends. They love him on the offense, but defensive impact is so big. Also rebounding. One last question on this before we go to break. How much do you put on Hoiberg's shoulders for the road struggles? Do you feel like how much blame do you feel like Hoiberg should shoulder on that? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it is the players that need to show up. But how much do you put on Hoiberg?
To be honest, it's not that much.
Okay.
I'm not even saying it's 50-50 because does he have on a consistent night, regardless, home or away, does he have them ready to play? Yes. Have they played a complete whole game? No. So is that really his fault, or is that, the players just not having it on their mind enough to perform? Now, and I get, people, oh, well, it's the coach's job and this and that. You can only do so much for getting, the kids prepared to play and everything like that. They know their roles. They have the stuff figured out and everything like that. Like, it's up to y'all. He can only do so much. He can't put, their shorts on for them. He can't tie his own shoes up, their shoes up and go out there and play for him. So I'm not so much mad at him. It's just like, okay, like where your mind's going in between these away games? Is it the traveling? Is it y'all not used to it? Like, is it a crowd thing? Is that not a confidence thing? Are you just not comfortable? Did y'all fight with y'all girlfriends? Or y'all had a bad exam or something? Like, what's causing y'all not coming out and being as confident and playing the typical way that we're used to seeing you? So I'm not really pointing the finger at the coach. It's more so of the athletes. Because he has them in games. They just, later in the game, second half or something goes wrong. They don't fix it, and the game gets out of hand. But if they're manageable games, it just, second half starts probably under 10 minutes, and it starts to get ugly.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the team comes out of the gates pretty strong. Like against Rutgers, they started off pretty well. Maryland, they started off pretty well, but it just seems like, the second half of each half, it's just such a struggle. And I also could tell, the halftime adjustments, Nebraska only had 2 made field goals that were not 3-point shots. It was all 3-pointers. They'd made more of a effort to try to attack the paint, but it just really didn't matter. Maryland's defense is really good. And when you combine that with them probably having their best 3-point shooting night of the season, it's just
you'll get that. Exactly. So I mean, I get that, but it's still, everybody has their bread and butter. Stick to it, regardless. Even if it's not falling or even if it's not going, don't just go out to the 3-point line and just chuck it. Like, no, get into the paint, get into a rhythm. Like they weren't, just chucking stuff against Purdue and everything like that. What were they doing? Attacking them. So why not, attack the rim, get in the rhythm. Okay, drive, get fouled or whatever, go to the free throw line. Get yourself, mentally check back in and everything like that. You don't just gotta chuck it up. Not everybody's Steph. Like you can't just have them type of games and expect stuff. Basketball is still basketball. Get to the bucket. 2 points is still 2 points. So, you know, regardless, even if they are hitting, you know, from deep and everything like that, like you don't gotta come back with a 3 and bounce back and like, no, just take your points and everything like that. And later down the line, you know, then once you're comfortable, once you know, you in your rhythm and everything like that, then, you know, get to things like that. So it's kind of funny, but it's the Big Ten holistically doesn't play well at home. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Big Ten Conference has been struggling on the road. It's just been a bloodbath in the middle of the Big Ten Conference. We got one more segment to go on the Don't Punt Anywhere. Don't punt hour. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a little patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies. Stay in the warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 47. Tonight, cloudy skies are expected with a low around 31. And tomorrow, more sunshine on the way. Warm weather, too. We'll see a high around 44. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
Load up on meat and more this winter at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through January 30th is $2 off Steakhouse Burgers and buy one Urban Slicer Pizza Works dough, get an Urban Slicer Pizza Works pizza sauce for free. Don't forget their 2 new locations now open at 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for the Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at the Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Junior Achievement at Lincoln inspires and prepares today's young dreamers to be tomorrow's goal breakers, leaders, and things we haven't even imagined yet. Help more kids while having a great time at the JA Bowl-a-thon. Sign your team up and raise money to ensure the educational programs focused on financial literacy, career readiness, and entrepreneurship are always free to thousands of students. The JA Bowl-a-thon is February 16th and 17th at Parkway Lanes and Hollywood Bowl. Register at lincoln.ja.org.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pearson.
Hello. One last segment left in the Don't Punt Hour here with DeMornay Pearson. We only got one segment left. Only got a few minutes left before, top an hour, got next show. I kind of want to wrap up the basketball talk. So against Maryland, CJ Wilcher had a great game, 17 points, shot really well from three-point line. But your two probably best players right now on the roster, and Tominaga and Mast both struggled in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mast goes from 30. Scoring 34 points against Ohio State to only 5 against Maryland. And I mean, it just seems like we weren't getting him the ball as much. What do you think was kind of the biggest reason of why he struggled in this game after his last great game?
It could be a number of things. Stuff could have been different. It could have been a different type of way to attack, Maryland and whatnot. So there's no right reason to, or certain things to point the finger at. It was an off night. A few things weren't going right, and then they just started chucking things at the chalkboard. So and it sucks when things go like that. And sometimes you got to kick I guess what your plan is to the side. But that one didn't hurt. That one didn't help. He should have been more involved. 5 points. Even if we got 10 to 12, okay, and then off night, that at least moves it a lot closer than what the score was. Everybody has a part, and you got to get the right people involved, and he just wasn't involved, and you kind of see when that happens.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like we weren't as aggressive trying to get him the ball. I mean, against Ohio State, he was hot. You could tell he had it going. They were purposely trying to get him the ball every time. But tonight, it just seems like they never really tried to get him in a rhythm, in my opinion. Tominaga had his second straight game of struggling. He got into foul trouble early against Ohio State, only played 19 minutes because they didn't really need him because Mast was playing so well, and then had another tough night against Maryland. It kind of seems like he's due for one of his signature Keisei Tominaga games, and that maybe makes me feel a little bit better against, in the next game against Wisconsin at home. Maybe Tominaga can light it up.
I expect it. Again, they play so well at home. You see how, things get turned on when it's a better opponent, or a team that you're not supposed to win against. So that'll probably be fixed and everything like that. That's fine. That's great and everything like that. But do that on the road.
Yeah.
That I don't have no complaints, when you're at home. When you're on the road and everything like that, put a solid game together, 2 halves together. But yeah, I expect him to fully be locked and loaded and ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems due, but it is just so weird that, I mean, the only road game that Nebraska's had a complete full game on the road was against Kansas State. Every other game, they just have not played the full game. It just is like in spurts, they look, like they do at home sometimes. And then other times, it's the turnovers, not being able to rebound, other just silly mistakes that just, add up over the course of, 10 minutes. And before you know it, you're down 15.
And that's not a good situation to be in at all.
No. I mean, basketball is a game of runs, so stuff like that happens, but it's just definitely. it just seems like they can't get out of a funk, when that happens. It's like it takes them until
it's like a snowball effect. Like once it starts rolling, like it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it's just there's no coming back from it. So, like I said, hopefully they can figure something out and get it done and situated. But they need to for for the sake of their future.
Yeah, I mean, Maryland seemed like one of the easier road games for them to maybe get. Weren't able to pull it out. Hopefully they can do it on Thursday against Wisconsin. Well, that's it for the Don't Punt Hour. Thanks again, DeMornay, for hopping on the stream, joining me for an hour. Up next, we got Speed and Power. Don't go anywhere. They'll be on in a few short moments.
If you're not going to Memorial Stadium for a home game and don't have any travel plans for away games, there's a great place in Omaha to catch the action, the Inner Rail Food Hall. There's plenty of space. The Backstretch Bar has amazing game specials on game days. $15 Blue Moon and Bud Light pitchers, $6 margaritas, and $6 Moscow Mules. And if you're hungry, take in some of their great options from their game day pizza specials. Do football game day right in the Inner Rail Food Hall in Exarban Village in Omaha.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success.